What's so fascinating to me about your character is not only is he a director representing filmmakers who may push artists to their mental limits to create truth within the frame, but it must be scary for you playing a film director in a exorcism movie when the actor who played the film director character in William Friedkin's The Exorcist died. He was one of the 7 or 9 deaths linked to the original film that many consider to be part of the film's curse.
Mhm.
Did at any moment did you have like a pause where you're like, "Oh boy, what the hell am I getting myself into? Am I safe?" Did you have any fear going into this, or was it stepping into it fairly easy?
Uh, I didn't, but I do now. Now I'm freaked out. Uh, no, the only day I was really freaked out was a scene that was cut from the film that we were shooting, I believe, on the stage where Brandon Lee had been killed,
Yeah.
and that freaked me out. Because there, yes, that I was actually freaked out. I remember when we were, I think it was the summer he died. I went to shoot the second film well, I guess third film I had been in, The Prophecy with Christopher Walken, and there's a scene where I get shot, and I remember being freaked out kind of that whole summer about that day because it was just it was in the air how horrifying, tragic that was. But yeah, no, I don't, I'm generally kind of on edge and I had to fly quite a bit for this film. I
Mm.
flew constantly, it seemed like, back and forth. And so that freaked me out, but not really in relation to the film itself, just because I hate traveling.
Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Over 20 years ago, you co-penned and directed I Love Your Work, a psychological drama about artistic aspirations and losing grip on reality. Obviously, that film and this one are very different works, but I think both examine the film industry through interesting genre lenses. Did you notice a common thread between them, or am I just grasping at straws?
No, you're not at all. In fact, that's kind of one of the first things I said when I read it, which was like, oh, hey, I made a film about a guy going crazy. And in fact, not only that, I was writing that film while I was working with Russell on Beautiful Mind. And in
Mhm.
fact, when I read Beautiful Mind, I remember telling Ron Howard that, I was writing this film about an actor who sort of unravels and I had him sort of the backstory really was always that what if an actor was schizophrenic and couldn't tell the difference between his film life and his real life and a stalker and not a stalker and that sort of thing. And you put him under this, sort of magnifying glass. So that was sort of the jumping off point. And then so it was really interesting doing Beautiful Mind because I've been doing all this research on mental illness and schizophrenia in particular.
Mhm.
And then yeah, jump ahead, 20 whatever years, and I was reading this, and yeah, it that definitely reminded me of that, and it's a I don't know, I guess a subgenre I've always been interested in. Abel Ferrara's Dangerous Game, about essentially playing Harvey Keitel basically playing Abel Ferrara.
Mhm.
These are all filmmakers and actors under duress. It's always been an interesting subject to me. Interestingly, before I wasn't either a professional actor or a filmmaker, but yeah, when I was a kid, Stardust Memory is 8.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for your thoughtful questions. I appreciate it.
For sure. All right. Take care.